Right, guys, week 3 of the performance block, or week 9 of the programming. Let's go through it now. So Monday perform, we've got our 3 12-minute stations again. We've got our testing in there on our bench press. On stations 1 and 3, it's going to be 2 6-minute blocks. You're going to be partner A, partner B. They are going to be split up into 2 6-minute components as well. Now on this one, A is going to be a movement, B is going to be a recover, and that goes for all of them, which means the intensity needs to be brought to those intervals because there is that recovery time built into that. So make sure we're aware of the movements, aware of the wattages that need to be maintained on the bike and on the ski as well, something different as opposed to just calories per hour, split time, cadence, so making sure that we're aware of our watts. On the bench press, we are going to be testing a 5RM. They've only really just tested the 10RM last week, so it's not ideal to jump straight to a 5RM. So if people don't hit what they've previously hit, that's completely fine, but we're still going to plan out the 12 minutes and for the other lifts throughout the week as well to make them as successful as possible or get to a most challenging weight as possible. So for our testing on the bench press, the sets, the warm-up sets, 10, 6, 4, 2, and then a 5RM. Timings, or an example of timings that you could have would be person number 1 goes at 0, 2, 4, 7, and 10. And this will allow enough recovery time and for all teammates or pairs, to go through that as well. That's for Monday. Tuesday lift, we've got our 18-minute block for our deadlifts. So we're going to spend a bit of time building up so we can get to that nice heavy set of 5. We're going to follow that progression again of 10, 6, 4, 4, 1 set of 2, just so they can experiment with the weights close to what they want to hit for their 5RM. Timings for that, we could just go every 3 minutes. So 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. They're obviously in their teams of 3 there, and they should have plenty of time to build up to those 5s. With station number 1, there's 3 box jumps. That's for max height and power. So when you do a box jump, yes, it's fine to stack it up and make them a little bit taller, but there is kind of this threshold that if people just bringing their feet up, tucking their knees to their chest, and they're not actually expressing that their hip is going high enough, it kind of defeats the purpose. So making sure that, yes, they are testing and challenging the height, but nothing ridiculous. And if people are always stepping, that's where we need to get the plates out, put it up against the box, and actually get people jumping either onto the plates or from the plates onto the box. So they're not just doing their step ups all the time. Teach people how to jump, and more importantly, how to land with proper mechanics on that as well. There's a single arm kettlebell ball floor press. So you're going to put the ball underneath that person's upper back. It is designed to increase the range of motion on that single arm. Don't tuck the elbow because your range of motion will be reduced. So you want to, just like our normal bench press, flare the elbow just a little bit. It's not way out to the side, but it's where we would do our normal bench press from. So we can get that little bit more increased range through our chest on that one. So have a look at the video for that one. Any questions on it, let us know. When we're hitting our Wednesday condition, this is going to start with 5 minutes where the entire session are going to test their max chin-ups. This is a trackable, so making sure that we have bands out and options ready for people to test and see what they've kind of built in these last couple of weeks and see if the inverted rows have paid off as well. That's then going to go straight into an individual workout for time. Again, on all these kind of workouts, have a look at the rep scheme, have a look at the movements, what's the cycle rate of each movement, how much can they get through, or what are the timings, like how long would it take them to get through one round? It does say complete 2 full rounds. See if that is possible in 32 minutes. Start having a think about those timings so you can kind of explain to members how long pieces should be going. Thursday perform, it's going to be a fairly simple 6x6 you go, I go, EMOM. Both partners are going to go on the minute. So it's not like before where they're alternating times or alternating movements. It's one movement. On stations 2 and 5, for example, on the bike and the ski, there's a big chunk of calories that they're going to share within the minute. So then they need to be making sure that they're aware of that. That person 1 doesn't chew up all this time and takes 40 seconds, that they're going for 20, 25, so they can have that transition. Person 2 can jump in there and get their work done in that time frame as well. When we look at Friday lift, we're testing our back squat. So same or similar kind of progression or build up sets like we had for our deadlifts. 10, 6, 4, 4, 2, and then our 5 RM. Obviously, similar example timings go every 3 minutes for our back squats there. On that day, there is a band overhead squat. Now, this can be done either really well or really terribly. So if someone is super immobile, you can just get them having that band above their head, pulling the band apart, providing themselves with a bit of kind of feedback and squatting down to kind of test or open up their mobility. If someone's super mobile and they want a little bit more of a challenge, you can get them standing in the band as well. But obviously, a few of our members probably haven't done that before, so you've got to pick and choose your battles on that one. Then we get to Saturday Sweat. This is the kickoff event for the Move More Challenge. So it's almost set up like a game day or one of the original game days where there's a buy-in on one of the movements and then there's a max rep afterwards. So there is going to be a almost scored component for this. So this is something that we're going to talk about in a little bit more detail in some upcoming videos, obviously about the Move More Challenge and how we're going to execute that kickoff event. But just have a little look through what the movements are, the session capacity, how that's all going to flow. But stay tuned for more details in some upcoming videos.